Hi everyone, and welcome to the Knit California channel. My name is Leslie. I'm a knitter, crocheter, spinner, yarn enthusiast, pattern designer in Southern California, and today we're talking about my fall knitting plans. It is officially September. Today's actually September 8th when I'm filming this, and so that means we are slowly making our way into the fall season. Now I can't say it's like fall weather-wise. It's supposed to be 106 degrees Fahrenheit here today. You may know we're going through a very large and a very long heat wave here in Southern California. So it doesn't feel like fall yet, but from social media, from some new TV shows that are coming out, it is starting to feel a little bit like fall. And I think for all of us knitters, crocheters, makers out there, now that it's September, like, chop chop, we really got to get on our fall knitting plans if we want to be wearing any cozy sweaters later this year when the temperatures actually do start to turn. So I have a list, and I should show you. I have my desk full of yarn here, and I want to talk to you today about what I am planning to knit this fall season. So for me, this is going to cover September, October, and November. December is like Advent season, especially here on YouTube, Vlogmas. That's going to be a whole separate beast, a whole different animal that we are going to talk about later in the year. But yeah, I'm excited to talk to you about all of these plans today. So some of these plans are going to include whips that I currently have on the needles that I would like to finish, some sweater patterns that I know I absolutely need, like it's a need in my soul, a need to cast on, and then just some, you know, like if it happens to happen, if I have time to cast on more things, a couple of those types of projects that I would like to fit in. The other thing to note for me personally in my fall knitting season is in October, I'm going to Ireland for 2 weeks, and in my head it seems like such a large, like, standalone activity and event, and so like I'm only thinking about like knitting up until the Ireland trip, and then like the Ireland trip I'm gonna have my own projects, you know, maybe 1 or 2 things that I'm bringing with me to work on, and then after the Ireland trip it's like mid-October at that point. It feels like fall is gonna be like over by then, but I know I'll still have a month and a half, the rest of October and November, to continue with these plans. So just keep that in mind. That's how like my brain is dividing up the fall knitting season. And so that concept and thought might come up while I'm talking about some of these plans. Okay, so let's get into the first plan that I have. I really want to knit the book club cardigan by Sari Nordland. I have been wanting to knit the book club cardigan by Sari Nordland since even before it came out in May of this year. This is a fully cabled cardigan. It's got little pockets, it's got like a double knit button band, and when I saw this originally I was like, for me, this is like the best and like the most classic cable knit cardigan I have ever seen, and immediately I was like, yes, I need it. It's a need. I want to knit this so bad. I have literally been thinking about knitting this since May of this year. It's now September, so that's May, June, July, August, September. For the last 5 months, I have purchased yarn for this, but I have not yet cast on. And I really feel it in my bones that it needs to be a fall cast on. So let me talk to you a little bit about just like the details of this, and then I'll show you the yarn. I can sit here for hours and just tell you how much I need this, and I'm like a little mad at myself that I haven't cast it on yet, but it's going to happen this fall, okay? So anyways, this is a cable knit cardigan. It's knit with a sport weight wool held with a lace weight mohair, and this is meant to be about a worsted weight gauge. The gauge is 18 stitches and 26 rows per 4 inches, and it's meant to be knit on 4mm needles. I will likely size up to a 4.5mm needle, although I have never actually, no, that's a lie. Okay, I have knit one Sari Nordland pattern, and it was a hat. I knit the sailor beanie earlier this year. I need to double check if okay, for the sailor beanie, the pattern recommended 3mm needles, and I used 3.25mm needles. So I did go up a size, so I will likely go up to a 4.5mm needle to knit this. The sizes available include 37.5 inch circumference all the way up to 69 inches circumference, including the intended positive ease of about 8 inches. And the copy on Ravelry says the book club cardigan has a relaxed fit with drop shoulders. It is knitted seamlessly top down with a diamond cable pattern that is a lot easier than it first appears and is suitable for knitters who are just learning to knit cables. So I'm, yeah, like I said, very excited to knit this. I want more cardigans in my wardrobe, in my hand knit wardrobe, and yeah, I've just been lusting after this cable knit cardigan for 5 months. So the yarn that I have purchased to knit this in, I didn't have any like sport weight wools just like in my stash, and so I figured this was a great time. Also, I wanted to like make sure I picked the right colors. Like I was really into, and I still am, this like dusty purpley like with gray undertones vibe. I think this is gonna make a really, really nice cardigan, and these colors work really well for me as a soft summer color palette. So this is the Barocco Lanas Light. It's a 100% wool. Each ball comes with 383 yards, and it's 100 grams. So I've got, I think, 4 of these. And then to go with it, I got the Knitting for Olive Soft Silk Mohair in the colorway Dusty Violet. So I think this is going to look really nice. I mean, it's going to have a little bit of a marled effect here. The wool is lighter, but the mohair I think will really stand out in this darker color. And I just can't wait to cast this on. I think it's going to be so gorgeous. Okay, so that is knitting plan number 1. Let me talk to you next about one of the whips that I currently have on my needles that I really want to finish this fall, and that is my stripe hype sweater. Okay, so I am currently knitting on the Stripe Hype sweater by Veronika Lindberg. She's at Kutova Kika on Instagram and YouTube. I cast this on July 23rd, and I'm almost done with the body. I'm on the twisted rib hem, and it's just going a little slow. And so after I finish this, I just have my 2 sleeves to knit. I know I can get this done this fall. In fact, I'm really, really hoping and planning to get this done this month so that it's ready to wear on my Ireland trip. The yarn that I'm using for this, let me show you. This is Dusty Yarn Co. in her classic DK weight base. So it's a 100% superwash merino wool, 246 yards per 100 grams. This is the main color that I'm using for the whole sweater. It's the color Dry Heat. And all of these colors were from the Palm Springs collection that Dusty Yarn Co. has. It is available on their website still right now. I do have an affiliate link in the description box down below if you're interested. So the blue is Dry Heat. The pink is called Bachelorette. The dark blue here is called Reservation Only. The yellow is called Vintage. And then the last 2 colors that I'll be using on the sleeves, I have this brown, which is called Mid-Century, and the green, which is called Top Shelf. It's like an agave color. So here's how they're all gonna look together. I think it's just gonna be a really fun and colorful striped sweater, and I can't wait for this to be done. It's gonna be like a really fun addition to my hand knit wardrobe. I think I have one other striped sweater that I knit earlier this year, but it's a very much like, it's like a darker purple with white stripes, and this is like very colorful and very fun. And yeah, like I said, I just can't wait to wear this. I can't wait to style it. It's gonna be so nice in Ireland with like maybe a lighter pair of jeans, my Blundstones, and some really fun glasses. And speaking of glasses and styling my knits, I want to talk to you about today's video sponsor, Perk Eyewear. Perk is a revolutionary eyewear brand that is changing how the world wears glasses. Offering high quality, affordable, and customizable prescription and non-prescription glasses, sunglasses, and blue light glasses, they have frame styles for everyone. They are also known for their magnetic top frames, which grant you the amazing ability to change your eyewear and therefore your style whenever you want. The ordering process for Perk is a breeze. My favorite part was the virtual try-on option, so I could see in real time what each base would look like on me. Then I was able to choose my base frames, upload my prescription super easily, and choose my favorite top frames. This month I asked Perk if I could try out a pair of their prescription sunglasses, and they said yes, of course. So let me show you the pair that I picked out. I love that they come in these nice glasses cases. Ooh. Okay, these are the Reese frames. I think they're so cute. They're a little bit different than what I normally wear because they're a little bit rounder. These frames also are a little bit more narrow, which I think really fits my face shape. I have a little bit more of a narrow shape. And then I got 3 top frames to go along with these for whenever I want to change my style. The base is the tortoise shell. These are the, look how fun this is, the berry jam hexagons. Can you tell they're like sparkly purple? Okay, these are so fun. Okay, these ones are the peacock ombre from the premium collection. And then lastly, these are the blush from their classic collection. These really are perfect for this Southern California fall season that we're in right now, where it's 100 degrees. Really sunny, so we really need some sun eye protection. Okay, back to my regular glasses. Base frames start at an affordable $60 and top frames start at $25. If you want to try a pair out for yourself, click the link in the description box down below for 15% off your first pair frames. The discount code will apply to base frame purchases by new customers only. Once you try a pair on, you'll never see eyewear the same way again. Thank you again to Perk for sponsoring today's video, and now let's get back to the fall knitting plans. Okay, I hope that transition wasn't too corny. Again, I'm just really excited. Hold on, did I even show you? Sorry, I know the ad is over, but how fun will these look with my stripe pipe? My hair. Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna look so cool in Ireland. I can't wait. I just can't wait. Okay. That is my stripe pipe sweater. This whip is going to get finished this month. Stay tuned and make sure you're subscribed to my regular podcast episodes if you want to see progress on all of these projects. And there's really something in my eye that's going to kill me. Okay, let's move on and talk about my next fall knitting plan, which is actually a new design. I am working on a new sweater pullover design that is inspired by a sweater that Taylor Swift wore to a football game in February of this year, last football season. And yes, It's a red sweater. This is the yarn that I'm going to be using in my design. It is Dusty Yarn Co. Again, her classic DK weight base. And this color is HRH HGH. Again, this is available in the Dusty Yarn Co. shop if you're interested. And I have started playing around with this design. The main design, like details of this, it's going to be a drop shoulder, a little bit more of an oversized pullover, a 1x1 rib collar, a 2x1 hem. I think the sleeve cuffs are going to be 2x2. There's going to be some interesting like ribbing details going on. And then there's also going to be this fun slip stitch detail along the arms, the back, shoulder slope, potentially down the side of the body as well. This is what I have started testing out with. This was my little tester swatch yesterday, and it was a little bit like too big for my size, and I wasn't happy with the increase rate on the shoulder slope. So actually that was from like 2 days ago. Yesterday I cast on a new test swatch, and this is looking really good. So I'm really excited about this. I want to knit up the whole sweater this fall, get the pattern written, and have the tester call go out sometime maybe in October is likely when that will happen, probably towards the end of October, and then maybe it can be released early in 2025. That's the general plan right now. I'm not going to like try to rush this at all. Like I would love for this to come out in January, but I don't want to rush it. I want to make sure I have enough time. I want to make sure all the details are worked out correctly. I want it to be tech edited before it goes out to my testers, yada 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 yada. So I'm like really excited about this though. I mean, now that football season is back, the Kansas City Chiefs played in the very first football game of the season. Taylor was there. It was a whole thing. Like, the inspiration for working on this sweater is just like coming at me in droves. And it's another one of those needs. Like, I need to be working on this. I need this like idea that I have to come out of my brain, come into a sweater and onto the page, the design page, my spreadsheet, my pattern template, all of that fun stuff. So I'm really excited to be working on that this season. Okay, let's move on to the next plan, and it goes hand in hand with a new design, but it's for a current design, the California sweater. If you are watching this video right when it comes out, the California sweater is about to be released later this weekend, and if you're watching this video maybe a little bit after it has been released, the California sweater should be available for purchase on Ravelry now. And I have multiple yarns in my stash that I feel like I have been setting aside to knit California sweaters in. And just as a reminder, refresher, if you haven't been here before and haven't heard me talk ad nauseum about the California sweater, it is a drop shoulder pullover knit with 1 strand of fingering weight and 1 strand of lace weight on large needle size. For me, I use a 6.5 millimeter, which is a US 10.5. I have relatively tight gauge, so some people need to use a 6 millimeter or a US 10, but still, it's a relatively small like yarn combo for a relatively large needle size. It creates this really open gauge fabric, and it's a really quick knit as well, and you don't need a whole lot of yarn. So let me show you some of the yarn color combinations that I have in my stash that I really have been dying to knit up, and they will likely end up being California sweaters. So the first one, this is so fun. is this yarn from Super Glow Fibers. I picked up this yarn at the SoCal Fiber Fair last year in November of 2024. I have 3 skeins of each. It's been sitting in my stash ever since. My thought originally was to maybe knit a lento with this, which is very similar to the California sweater, but it's a raglan. The California sweater is a drop shoulder. I personally prefer drop shoulders, which is how this design came to be. But isn't this yarn combo so much fun? Okay, so this is, let me take the label off a little bit too so you can see all of the colors in here. This was a special base that Super Glow Fibers brought just for the SoCal Fiber Fair, and it's a silky boucle. So it's 70% mulberry silk, 30% fine merino, and it is a fingering weight yarn, so it's 436 yards per 100 grams, and these were all one-of-a-kind skeins, so it's really exciting. So I want to do like a boucle fingering weight version held with this Suri that is called Mermaid Caves, and this is her Suri silk base, 74% Suri alpaca, 26% silk. And I just think they're really fun and the colors go pretty well together, and I just think this, like, in a sweater is gonna be like crazy colorful and just really fun. So this is one of the yarn combos that I have in mind. The second yarn combo that I have in mind is a little bit more tame, okay? We're talking purple. And this is the classic fingering weight base from Dusty Yarn Co. in the color Lavender Haze. Classic 100% superwash merino 4-ply, 437 yards per 100 grams. And then what I've been really dying to work up into a sweater is this Truffula cashmere base from Treehouse Knits. So it's 81% superwash merino wool, 19% cashmere, 316 yards per 50 grams, and this is the colorway Harvest Moon. And so it's a fingering weight plus a lace weight. I just think this is gonna look really, really nice in the California sweater. So I can't wait to see this combo come to life. And then lastly, look, I really don't think I'm going to be knitting up 3 of these this season. I have already knit 2, but I bought this yarn at Flock Fiber Festival this year. This is from Explorer Knits and Fibers. This is her Denali sock base in the colorway Rain Shadow, and her Suri alpaca lace in the same color, so Rain Shadow. And I was just really drawn in to this blue, although this is very, very similar to the blue that I knit my second sample in. So I'm thinking actually that I might use this for a California cardigan. You heard it here first, folks. I really do think I want to make a cardigan version. So again, fingering weight plus Suri, large needle size, just like a very relaxed, like simple cardigan construction. Probably like an open sitting cardigan, so I don't even think it would have like buttons or anything. I don't know, this is just like the very first idea generation of this is what I have thought about. But I think this would be a really fun cardigan sample, and this color looks really great on me also as a soft summer. So yeah, plans. This might end up being like a winter knitting plan, but I wanted to show it to you because it just like falls in line with all 3 of these color combinations, potential color combinations for a California sweater or a California cardigan. I can't even hold it. I can't even hold it all. I have a couple accessories that I want to work on this fall, so let's talk next about those. The first one is a test knit that I am actively working on right now for Rachel from Rachel is Knitting, and it's a cowl. This is the Dewdrops Cowl, and I'm a little bit over halfway done with it. It's going really well, but I am expecting to finish this fall. I'm expecting to wear this in Ireland. We're gonna have matching ones, although I don't know if she has one in purple. She might. She must, right? It's her pattern. And the yarn that I'm using for this is Sewrella yarn in her classic sock base. I think this is a fingering nylon in the colorway Central Perk. It was from the Knitflix collection based off of Friends, and this is going really well. I'm really excited about this. And then the second accessory that I want to work on is a hat. I feel like it's been a really long time since I have knit a hat. I did knit one this spring, the Sailor Beanie by Sari Nordland that I talked about earlier, but there is a hat that I have been lusting after on Ravelry for a really long time, and it's the Cheslie Toque by Kiyomi Bergen. And it's just a like lace hat with a folded up 1x1 rib brim, but I really think it's a beautiful lace hat, and I have really been wanting to knit one after I saw a few people knit these last year. And so the yarn, I picked this out at Flock Fiber Festival, is from Sewrella. This is the classic worsted base in the colorway Second Chances. This was from the library collection, I believe. And then the purple that I picked out for the Suri lace is called Emily Gilmore, and this was from the Gilmore Girls collection. So I am a little bit worried about how these are going to marl together, but I'll just have to cast it on, play around with it, and see how I like it. But I do really want to knit this hat. And the pattern does specifically call for worsted weight plus a Suri weight, Suri lace weight. So that's why I have picked both of these skeins out. I tried to like stash dive. I had a couple ideas, but I didn't have a worsted weight base. I had just like a DK weight base for the main strand, and I was like, no, you know what, let's do what the pattern actually says we need. Okay, let's not just like play around with this for funsies, okay? Anyways, so that's what I got. That's what I picked out. Okay, I have two last things that I want to talk to you about for my fall knitting plans. The first one is when I go to Ireland on the Irish knitting tour, I am thinking of casting on a second Palm Springs tank sample to bring with me as my knitting for that trip. And this is the yarn that I have picked out for my second sample. This is the Knitting for Olive Cotton Merino in the colorway Blueberry Ice Cream. I have never knit with the cotton merino. I'm very excited for it. I think this is going to be a really fun fiber and really nice fiber to knit up for a tank top. And I have been lusting after this colorway. This is one of the newer Knitting for Olive colorways for cotton merino that came out earlier this year. I placed an order and then it took like 8 weeks for it to arrive, but it is finally here, and I'm glad that it did take that long, because otherwise, I don't know. I just think it's going to be a really nice and like perfect project for the knitting tour in Ireland, because it's like for the most part just like knitting in the round, knitting back and forth. It's on small needles, it's a fingering weight yarn, so there's like a lot of knitting to cover with it, and I just think it'll last like the whole trip, which is what I'm looking for a knitting project for the trip. So that's that. And then the last thing, I like kind of don't even want to talk about it, but I feel like we have to talk about it. The last thing is my Sweet Shop blanket. It has been months since I have worked on this, and this was, if you don't know, my Advent project from last December. I cast this on December 1st, 2023, and It's not done yet. It's not done yet. But I really, really, really want to finish this before December of this year, because I do have plans to start a new blanket in December, and I feel like I can't have last year's advent blanket still be in whip status while I'm casting on a new advent blanket. It just feels wrong. It just feels wrong. So let's see if I can show you this. Like, it's getting close, okay? This is the full one edge, and this is the full other edge. It's just this middle section now that I need to complete. And I don't know, it's a lot of knitting. Like, I don't know if I am gonna get this done. It's a dream, but this likely will still be a whip when I start my new advent blanket in December. But if I can help it, if I can help myself, if I can bring myself to actually work on this, I would love to get it done before December of this year. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't have strong hope. I don't know. I just don't like, at least right now, like currently in this moment, I'm not like feeling drawn to it. And you know, if I'm not feeling drawn to work on it, then I'm not going to work on it. Like, I have all these other projects that I just talked to you about that I am like way more inspired and interested in working on. So that's obviously where my focus wants to go. So, but I felt like I needed to talk to you about it. I still have all of, when I look at it this way, I still have all of these yarns to knit up. Like, this is a lot. If you don't know, I had 2 advents last year, and I used both advents in the same blanket. So every day my goal was to knit up, you know, well, it was 20 grams of yarn total. Each triangle used half of a mini skein. So my goal was to knit up 20 grams each day. I made it like 2 weeks maybe, and then went on a little trip and didn't bring it with me and fell behind, and then like stopped working on it. Isn't that how Advent goes for everyone? I think so, right? So anyways, those are my fall knitting plans. Like I said before, if you are just finding me from this video, please hit that subscribe button and come back for my weekly podcast episodes where you can see all of the updates on these projects and any of the other projects that I start to work on this fall season. If you stick around, I am also planning on vlogging and filming the whole time I'm in Ireland on the Irish knitting tour, so I hope you'll come back or stick around to watch all of those videos that come out the second half of October. And like I have also mentioned, we've got Vlogmas coming up in December, so there's going to be a lot of content coming for Vlogmas as well. So all of the information for the patterns and the yarns that I talked about in today's video are in the description box down below. As well, you can find down there all of my contact information, my Ravelry wishlist if you would like to support the channel in that way, a suggestion box for future potential video suggestions, and all of my partnerships and affiliate links that I work with. Those links are in the description box down below as well. I am trying to grow Knit California on Facebook, so if you don't have Instagram but you do have Facebook, everything that I post on Instagram, posts and reels get cross-posted over to Facebook. So you can go search for the Knit California page on Facebook and like and follow that page. Lastly, I am trying to grow my channel to 10K subscribers. We hit a milestone last week at 6K, so I am very thankful and very grateful for all of you who are watching this who are already subscribed to my channel. If you're not subscribed, we would love to have you join the community, and I would love your support in getting to 10K subscribers. Alright, that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I would love to know if you have any of the same fall knitting plans that I do, or if you've got different patterns that you're working on. Drop them in the comments down below. Let's inspire everyone else in their fall knitting plans as well. Alright, I will see you on the next one. Happy knitting! Bye everyone!